Hello, this is Claudia Orengo from heartmade.es, and in this video I want to teach you how to change to a specific color. So this came from a question in one of my latest videos in which I teach how to use hue and saturation in Photoshop to change the color of any illustration, any photo you have. But someone asked, how can we specifically change to one color? So I'm going to show you a couple of options. The first one is going to be very easy and very direct, and then we will cover all the options under hue saturation. So the first option, I'm just using a pattern I designed so that you can see it has multiple colors and we can see how it changes. So the first option would be to create a new layer over the layer we want to modify, and going in between them we can click the Alt key in our keyboard and then it will appear this arrow. So once you click in between them, it appears this arrow, which means this layer it's only gonna affect to this one. This is very helpful in case your layer has some transparent area and you don't want this to affect the underneath layers, the background, etc. So it's important if you want this change to only be applied to this layer. Now, once we have done this, we have this in transparent, so all we need to do is paint with the color we want. We can come to our color palette and choose the one we want. We can go to libraries and say a specific Pantone or just add here the Xcode. And once we have decided it, we will click OK and go to paint. Make sure it's selected to foreground, because if it's selected to pattern, it will paint with a pattern. Just select it, click, and now it has painted all this layer with this color. Now, obviously, we cannot see the layer underneath, so all we need to do is go here and go to color. And now you can see how it's applying this color, just keeping the same saturation, the same lightness through all the patterns. So the white areas, they are lighter, and the dark areas, they are darker. Another one that sometimes works is hue, but I don't like it as much as color. So this is like the fastest way. Now let's say you only want to change this bezel. How are we gonna do that? Well, first I'm gonna zoom in. Doesn't matter if it's pixelated, it's just to see it bigger in the screen. And now we're gonna create a mask on the color layer. So clicking here, I create a mask, and everything I paint in black in this mask, it's not gonna show. It's like a window. So whatever it's white, it's gonna show. Whatever it's black, it's not gonna show. How do I do it? With the brush. I can edit the brush so it's as hard or less hard as I want it, the size that I want. I'm gonna show you. You see, I'm painting, and what's happening, it's here it's showing in black, and it's meaning everything that's black, it doesn't apply whatever it's going on in the layer. It's not like deleting, because if I come back, I change the white and I paint, I can restore what I had. So it's much better than deleting, right? So probably what I would do if it were just this bezel, I would paint everything in black, right? So now it's not showing anything, and coming with the brush or even tracing, which I'm not gonna cover in this tutorial, but it's just using the tool and selecting everything you need. I would start painting the area that I want to change color. So you can see how I'm trying to just paint what I'm interested in. I can make this way smaller and zoom even more to paint the bezel legs. And here you see how this area has changed the color, but nothing else. So this is the first method. Now let me take off this layer and show you the second method. I would go here again in this layer, and instead of creating a new layer and painting over, I would go to the effects and select here saturation. This will directly create it with an arrow to me because I already had this one, but if not, just click the Alt and it will apply for you. It's important, remember, because otherwise it would apply to all your layers. So now we're here, we click this option and it pops up the adjustments. So let's see what we have. This is what we covered in the other tutorial, but in this one I want to go more in depth and show you all the options, right? So obviously you can use a preset and you can even set your own, but I'm not going to be using this. Here by default it's set to master, which means applying all the changes to all the colors. But if we just click red, whatever we do, it's only just gonna, you know, affect the red colors. If we do cyans, it's gonna affect the cyans. You see the petals? So this is important to know, because sometimes when we change the master, we like, for example, let's say we like this kind of green, but we don't like the red, so we should go back to reds and edit them to the color we want, right? So this is how you manage it depending on colors. The hue, it's what we covered in the other tutorial, so basically it changes the hue of the overall colors. Saturation makes it brighter or less saturated, more greenish, and lightness, it makes it darker or lighter. But what if we want to change to a specific color? Well, we can use this option here, colorize, and now it's applying the same, it's like what we did here, but with here saturation. So we have here a new color and we can move these to select the color we like the most. I really love this teal color, and then we can make it more saturated, less saturated, however we want. So this is another way. And again, we have here a mask, so wherever we paint in black, it would not apply. Let me change the size. This would not apply, right? So here you have the two options on how to change the specific color. I hope you find this useful. If you did, please subscribe, like this video, leave me a comment, it really helps me. And if you want to stay tuned with everything I do, the best way is to subscribe to my email newsletter. I only send like what I find most interesting, so it's not like a weekly newsletter where you will receive always the same type of emails. I sometimes send an email in a week, sometimes I send more because I'm doing, you know, a promotion or I'm recommending something that it's ending soon. So yeah, if you want to be in touch with me and know everything that's going on in my business, get recommendations, get the best tips and the best deals, that's the best way for you. Join my email list and I'll keep in touch with you.